Okay, so this is, I think it's the fourth or fifth episode, I'll say in my title. And so I thought I would, going back through my notes, what did so what was one of the first like exercises I started to use to get acquainted with the bass. And looking back, what I realized, one of the first things I did when I signed up with a teacher and I knew nothing. I shouldn't say I knew nothing. I had figured out kind of how to stand with the bass and how to position my fingers. I'm assuming at this stage you all know that. Compared to an electric bass, we're used to playing. A lot of us, anyways, are used to playing. One finger per fret. Generally speaking, with electric or upright bass, the distance between these notes, they're so great that you have to split your fingers into semitones using the index, your middle finger, and your pinky. So that shouldn't really be news to you guys, assuming you've probably looked online and seen, oh, okay, here's how you grip the bass and whatnot. So I wanted to start with an exercise that I thought, oh, I'll just rip through this. This will be pretty easy. And I realized it was a lot more challenging than I expected. And this is basically the exercise. Do this. Do that on the upright. So you're just playing like chromatic, it's really just to acquaint your fingers with that first position. It's actually called half position. That's a whole other story I won't get into. But you're playing open E, F sharp, G, and then to the A string, doing that same pattern. And just walking through that. And the point of the exercise is that there's a few things you want to be able to do here, and it's really focusing on make a good sound, play in tune, and try to connect your notes. I'm going to add that because I think it's an important one, so it doesn't sound really like pizzicato. And that sounds pretty easy. And and then back. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that you can do that, but that every note you play is in tune. So how do you do that? What I've been using is a workhorse, and if you play slow, this tuner will tell you, and I'm assuming you have some kind of pickup on your instrument. This isn't going to work if you don't have a pickup, and I can give you another option if you don't have a pickup. But basically, if you play slow enough, and assuming you're in tune, all your open notes will be in tune. But what you're trying to train your fingers to do here is create that spacing, which is, separates those semitones. So for open G or open E, you've got and you want to check your tuner and let those notes ring and play through that so that you can land all of those and that they're in tune. Sounds a lot easier than, looks a lot easier than it is. You'd be surprised. And there's a few things it's going to do. It's going to train your fingers to start to create that relative distance between your pinky, your middle finger, and your index finger, it's gonna start working out that shoulder, and it's gonna start creating that muscle memory to feel what that half position feels like. And I would recommend, this sounds like something you can do in, you know, oh, that's an easy exercise, I can do that right away. Try doing it for 10 minutes. You'll see, like, you'll, you know, if you're watching your technique, you might start feeling pain in your fingers, or you might notice that your fingers are starting to lock and your knuckles are starting to lock and whatnot. Take a break. Think about economizing your energy. Think about connecting those notes together so that you're not, you know, you want to be able to like connect those notes together. And so this is going to do a number of things, and it's boring, unfortunately, but it's more about training that muscle memory and getting you in shape. And by doing that, it'll put you in a position to start learning, you know, some scales, because that's you know, you can do a lot of work down here in this half position, and that's where really all the money tone is. So if you don't have a tuner, and I recommend you get a tuner at this early stage. If you don't have one, maybe you have a keyboard or something with like some kind of a drone or like an auto chord feature, you know, where you can play to a, like I have this cheap little Casio Yamaha thing that I use. I'll just turn it on real quick here. You know, I'll put on like a really simple let's say I'm working on that E. Let's make it the D for now. I can slow the tempo down. But I have something, I at least have my ears to help me hear how close I am, you know? And you know, when you start sliding out, you'll hear those notes. You should hear them sounding out of pitch. I do recommend getting a tuner because it'll help you verify like how close you are. It's really important. I believe, my philosophy is, you know, if your intonation is out, you're gonna, you know, the bass has such a fundamental purpose and harmony. You know, when the bass notes are out, the whole band is going to sound, it's going to sound disconnected. So yeah, try that exercise. It's kind of boring, I know, but I think you'll see it'll start to establish that hand shape, and it'll start building the muscle that you need. Okay, as usual, kick me's, criticisms, you know, I fully encourage that. I think it's hilarious, you know, how some people like to behave online. Anyways, enjoy. I think what I'll do is get through that exercise, and then let's maybe try a, you know, simple major scale in that position. Okay, till next video. Bye.